Yo, what is up guys? Welcome to the day 64 recap of the 2016-2017 NBA season. Alright, so it just seems like that Cavs-Warriors game won't just go away quietly. As you guys know, yesterday, the NBA came out with its last 2-minute report stating that Kevin Durant was indeed fouled on the last play and LeBron James should have gotten a technical foul call. And for you guys that don't know, the last 2-minute thing is where the NBA will look at the footage from the last 2 minutes and determine if there were any missed fouls or fouls that shouldn't have been called or anything like that. You basically correct the referees in the last 2 minutes and release it to the public. Now, it's good that they're actually checking the referees, right? You know, it's good that they're reviewing stuff to see if they missed anything, but at the same time, what's the point of letting the public know? All right, what is the point of doing this? Because I know for me, when the Pistons lose a close game and there was a controversial call or something, and then the league comes out and says, you know what, you was right, there was a foul. Is well, thanks, but now what? How does that help me at this point in my life? You're just making me feel even worse. I had the possibility that it wasn't actually a foul, and I was just crazy that to know it was a foul, nothing was called, and we lost because of that. That's annoying. And the other thing is, they're looking at the last 2 minutes, all right? Last 2 minutes, what about the other 46? There are 48 minutes in a game last time I checked, and I'm sure in the last 2 minutes, those aren't the only times that fouls get missed, right? I'm sure those aren't the only time that fouls get missed. Why are you just reporting on the last 2 minutes of anything? If anything, you could report on the entire 48 minutes to give a more fair perspective, because in every game, there are tons of fouls that go without being called. Tons of them. I get that in the last 2 minutes it could determine the outcome of the game, but so do the other fouls that were called. They determine the outcome of the game too. Every little thing that happens in a basketball game determines the outcome of a game. Seriously, every little thing that happens in the game affects the outcome. Missed a free throw, the outcome has just been affected. Coach forgets to call a timeout, the outcome has been affected. Player gets substituted, outcome has been affected. Foul trouble, outcome has been affected. So why is it just the last 2 minutes that the NBA thinks affects the outcome of the game? Of course they're important. Of course the last 2 minutes are important, but so are the first 2 minutes. So this whole last 2 minute report thing is basically just a pile of salt. That's all it is. The NBA saying, those are some nice wounds you have there from that loss you just took. You know what will go great with those? Some salt. Here, take all the salt you want and just pour it on that wound. I guarantee you it will help. That's essentially what the last 2 minute report is. And I got a little shred of respect back for Kevin Durant. You know, I got a little respect back for Kevin Durant. He easily could have said, well, yeah, I was fouled. I knew I was fouled and all this after he heard the last 2 minute report. But what he did instead was he didn't like it. Yo, he doesn't like the last 2 minute report. He thinks the refs are getting thrown under the bus. So, you know, he took the high road there. Of course he knew he was fouled. Of course, I mean, the man himself was fouled. Of course he knew he was fouled. But, you know, complaining about it's not going to get anything done. And the last 2 minute report is something that NBA should just do away with. I mean, of course, review the entire game, not just the last 2 minutes. I think they review the entire game, but they only released the last 2 minutes. So review the entire game, but just keep that to yourselves, because it doesn't really help the fans to know that there were fouls called in the game that could have changed the outcome of the game that weren't called. This was probably the ugliest game of the season. It was probably the ugliest game of the season, not because, you know, it was boring to watch or anything like that, but the Dallas Mavericks players, you know, were doing some questionable things, some hard fouls, a couple of flagrant fouls. I think there were 2 flagrant fouls and 3 technical fouls on Dallas this game. So, you know, they were in a bit of a bad mood, to say the least. And I get it. I would be too. You're losing a lot of games. I understand. I would be kind of upset as well. You know, they're now 9-23 on the year, and they lost to the Houston Rockets 123-107. James Harden had a fantastic game, a freaking phenomenal game for James Harden. 34 points, 11 assists, and 5 rebounds, and he didn't even play the fourth quarter. I mean, he didn't need to play the fourth quarter, so that was just through 3 quarters. I remember at halftime he had 24 points and 7 assists. So, you know, he was on pace to have at least 40 some odd points and 15 assists that game if he played the fourth quarter. James Harden just doing James Harden-like things. The man is out here on another level this season. Isaiah Thomas and Avery Bradley both had really good games last night against the Memphis Grizzlies. Yo, Isaiah Thomas finished with 21 points and 7 assists, and Avery Bradley had 23 points and 7 rebounds. Isaiah Thomas is just such an impressive player. I mean, the man is out there 5'9". 5'9". I mean, I'm taller than Isaiah Thomas. That's crazy. He's out there going in the paint and finishing with some of the most beautiful layups in the NBA at the moment. Yo, Isaiah Thomas goes in there with no fear whatsoever. People in there are a solid foot taller than him. Most people in the paint are a solid foot taller than him, and he's going in there with no fear in the world and finishing taking contact. So Isaiah Thomas is just a champion out here, and he's having an amazing season. He's averaging 27 points and 6 assists per game. He's having his best season so far of his career. And Al Horford had more turnovers than he had rebounds. I'm just saying, Al Horford, you're a center. Russell Westbrook had his 15th triple-double of the season, and the Oklahoma City Thunder went out and beat the Miami Heat, of course. 29 points, 17 rebounds, and 11 assists for the West Beat. And Enes Kanter was involved in the offense again, yo. I'm loving to see Enes Kanter get involved. Like I said, he's probably the most efficient scorer the Oklahoma City Thunder has. He had 19 points on 9 of 16 shooting last night, and Steven Adams also had 15 points, 8 rebounds, and a couple of blocks for the Oklahoma City Thunder. And last but not least, the Lakers lost in a heartbreaker to the Utah Jazz. Joe Ingles hit a shot with like 20 seconds left in the game to put the Utah Jazz up. The Lakers would have liked to start another winning streak, but it wasn't happening. Gordon Hayward, once again, please make this man an all-star. He shouldn't be an all-star starter. I'm not saying he should be a starter, but he should be a reserve. So coaches, get on it. 31 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists for Gordon. Make me an all-star Hayward. I mean, if this man isn't an all-star, I'm probably going off because he's been playing like an all-star. He should at least be a reserve. If he's not this year, then I don't know what to tell you. It's just bad. And that about wraps up all the action of the Day 64 recap of the 2016-2017 NBA season. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Comment down below what you guys think about the NBA's last 2-minute reports thing. Do you guys like it? Do you guys think they should do it? Do you guys think it's pointless like I do? So just let me know what you guys think about that down in the comment section below, and like the video if you liked the video, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already for more daily NBA videos. And until tomorrow, keep getting the buckets, Team SDC, and I'm out of here. Peace!